According to new research, our state's population is dropping.
We rank fourth in the nation when it comes to the number of people we're losing. Tonight on a Target 7 investigation, we find out why. Here's Jason.
Well, yeah, Doug and Shelley, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, New Mexico's population dropped around 1,200 people in 2025. Now, that doesn't sound like much, but most of the country is growing. And researchers tell us it's a sign of a trend that could have a negative impact on our economy.
That's where I'm from, Torreon, Mexico.
We introduced you to Mario Oscar Garcia during our special investigation, Broken Border.
I came here as a student visa.
It took years, but Mario graduated from school, found a job, and earned his citizenship. Today, he's married and has 5 American children. He's an auditor, and you may have seen him making calls at a New Mexico United game.
Most of us, no one comes to the United States thinking, I'm going to be a citizen. We just want to say, I want to be there, contribute to the country, because it's a country of immigrants.
But New Mexico is starting to see fewer people like Mario coming across our state line.
U.S. population growth, the rate of change has decelerated.
Olu Sonola is the head of U.S. economics at Fitch Ratings, a part of Hearst Television, KOAT's parent company. He says nationwide, the Trump administration's immigration policies have led to a slowdown in the country's population growth.
The overall population change of the U.S. decelerated sharply to barely 0.5%, and it was north of about 1% before.
Sonola says many states rely on international immigration for population growth, including New Mexico. However, New Mexico's growth hasn't just slowed down, it's shrunk.
If I look at the last 5 years, even 10 years, population growth in New Mexico has essentially stagnated. One reason why is deaths now largely exceed births.
Let's look at the data. The median age of a New Mexico resident has risen more than 12 years over the last 4.5 decades. In 1980, the median age of a New Mexican was 27 years old. Now, it's nearly 40.
More New Mexicans dying, and you cannot discount the fact that more people are leaving New Mexico than are moving to New Mexico from within the United States.
Our population shrunk at a rate of 0.06% in 2025, bad enough for fourth in the U.S.
New Mexico is probably not going to see population growth for the next 3 to 4 years.
Sonola says this decrease in population and decrease in immigration could have a negative effect on New Mexico's economy.
It tends to mean that growth slows quite a bit, and it potentially can have impact on productivity. It could potentially have impact on just attracting businesses down the roads.
Immigrants like Mario Oscar Garcia, who decided to make New Mexico his home, admit our state may not be the most attractive place as an immigrant to settle down.
When I think about coming into the United States, you don't think about coming to New Mexico, not because it's a bad place, it's not in your map.
When we showed him Fitch Ratings' report on our population declining due to both age and migration, he wasn't surprised.
My kids, when they look in New Mexico and the economics, some of them are telling me like they may have to go out of state because they see opportunities somewhere else that we don't have here. What are we going to do, and what are the opportunities for me to succeed in the state of New Mexico?
Now, Sonola says there is some optimism. Despite our median age climbing, we're not considered a quote-unquote aging state, which consists mostly of baby boomers. But he says the state still has many hurdles to overcome if we don't want to get to that point. For Target 7, I'm Jason McNabb.
The Catholic